Utah State, is now playing overseas basketball. Chris, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well, man. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Good. I'm glad to finally get you on the podcast, man. It was, overdue. Grew up playing against you, you feel me, when I came out here initially. Had some bad experiences playing against Center High School. So, this is definitely something I was looking for. But, man, so first question, as always, is what made you fall in love with basketball?
Man, I think just, watching it as a kid, honestly, rest in peace, but watching Kobe as a kid and just seeing, just the confidence and just how someone was able to go out there and dominate. I was like, I want to do that. You know what I mean? And then obviously my dad, he played college basketball, Division I. So
okay, I didn't know that.
Just kind of trying to follow in his footsteps. Yeah, he played at Sac State. So
gotcha.
Trying to follow in his footsteps, and then my brothers, and I have a lot of professional athletes in my family, luckily. So it's just having that in the back of your mind, like you have the ability to do something because your family members have done it. So
so man, they gave you that guidance, they put a good example out in front of you, but I mean, you obviously were your own player, your own person, and you seized it your own way. So, we commend you for it. I know how hard it is to do that, especially overseas, like doing a different route than you anticipate at a young age. Everybody anticipates, I'm going to the league, but that's not always the case. So when did you start approaching basketball as a possible career?
Like I said, I've had a lot of, my cousins, they played professional. So I was just like, maybe I should start, I want what they have, you know what I mean? So I think it would probably be around 12, 13 when I was like, oh, wait, this can get me to college. Yeah. Oh, wait, I can make money off it. So I'll say around 12, 13, really started to take it serious. Yeah, so got to start young.
Yeah, that's good. You got ahead of the game with that for sure. So did you start, training when you were, 12, 13, or, how'd you go about it? More self-taught when you were younger, or what?
Well, I think I just started taking it. I was always, we were kids, going around, let's play basketball this part,
Yeah.
But I actually started to play AAU, started doing training and all of that, with E-Time Hoops. So
E-Time Hoops, shout out E-Time Hoops, Coach Ernest.
Shout out Coach Tavoto, man. But just I would say that's when I started, do a lot more, plyometric training, try to push my body, push myself. So
got you. Yeah. So, man, what made you end up going the JC route? Because I know in high school playing against you, you were a baller in high school. You know what I mean? Averaging 20 plus a game, every year, junior year, senior year, whenever I played against you. You know what I mean? The AAU, you always dominated. Well, why'd you end up going that route?
I mean, I feel like it's changing now, but back in the day, colleges weren't really coming to look at, the Sacramento area basketball scene. So I really felt, I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to go the JUCO route and, really see what I can do because, this is it's either that or prep school. So I was like, I'm just try the JUCO route, see what I can do, see if I really want to play basketball because JUCO really pushes that.
Yeah.
if you really in love with basketball. And went the JUCO route, ended up being a great decision. And you got to have a lot of hard work in JUCO. You got to, no one's gonna tell you, oh, you should be working out. Nothing. Yeah. You have to go get it yourself. So
got you. Yeah. So what can you say for younger kids, that maybe don't have those opportunities right out of high school, about the journey that it takes through JUCO and what to expect as far as coaching, other teams, competition, things like that?
I would say, the kids doing that, one, right after your high school season, to start grinding, because when you play JUCO, you can be going up against a, 26-year-old man who's trying to have the same spot as you, and you're going to have to, show, your skill level. Yeah. And I would just suggest, just never stop working and always do stuff outside of what your coach or your trainer is telling you. Don't just do that and that's it. Always work. No excuses.
How did because you always had that work ethic. I was gonna say, how did JUCO change your work ethic? But you were
Yeah.
always working at that tempo and that pace, even in high school. So I can't
Yeah.
even say that as much. But how about like your drive and your hunger, knowing that you had 2 years to get out and get to somewhere that you wanted to be?
Yeah, I mean, growing up, we lived in Yuba, so wasn't
Cuba.
too much to do. So
It's a good thing.
yeah, it was a great thing. Honestly, everyone always, why would you go out there? But it was a great place because you really, like you said, if you love your sport, love what you do, you're gonna take it seriously. And you I want to get out, go somewhere where I can, And I just feel like, Yuba always has a high expectation, and we didn't want to be the people to let that down, if you get what I'm saying. So we would all be working 6 a.m., get in the gym, and then go to class. And then after practice, then work out again. So it was always nonstop working.
Yeah, so you went to Yuba kind of off the name of it's Yuba City College. They produce a lot of people that go to that next level from high school to JUCO to Division I. So that was the main reason why you went there.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Corn, great guy.
Coach.
He knows a great coach. He knows everybody.
Yeah,
Coach Corn knows everybody. He's a great coach. He really sees potential in people, and he makes you grind.
Yeah,
you got to do it. He's not going to do it for you.
Yeah, that's good though. He instills that in you, that it's on you. That's where a lot of players fall off. It's like they're getting pushed by someone else, and it's not really them that wants to achieve that goal. You know what I mean? It's got to be you that wants to get that goal. You know what I mean? But what was I about to say? After JUCO, you were a all-state player at Yuba, right?
Yeah.
So all state at Yuba. Guys did your thing in the tournament. I remember watching you guys play against SF City College, and Desmond was going crazy one game. He had like 20 points, but y'all were all going crazy, and y'all beat one of the best JUCOs in the whole nation. Like, did that like gain you more interest from colleges after that game, or like how did it go with your college recruiting? Like, did it all come at once? Did it come like in spurts? Like,
so everyone had, I've kind of had a little buzz throughout high school. I think I was averaging 23 points a game or something like that. So colleges knew of me, but they were just like, we'll kind of see. And then after my first year, a lot of teams, I would say like throughout the Mountain West, Big Skies kind of started to reach out. And then I would honestly say after that game, because they had, I think it was Gay Area's Finest. It was one of those back in the day places. Yeah, what a name. One of those places, they put it in, they have a big platform.
Yeah.
And then everyone saw that, like, dang. And so I had like a lot of offers after that, I would say. I can't even, remember, but it was good to know that, like, I like to play at that level of, pressure. Like, it was a big game, you know what I mean? So
yeah, you've always been that type of player though. Like, you've always been one when the bigger the game, the bigger you're gonna step up in that moment. You know what I mean? That's something that's benefited you for sure. So from what I was hearing though, it's basically like you were just prepared for the moment, and your moment came, and then when it came, you stood out. You got on one of these social media sites. You know what I mean? Got your exposure. And as soon as you got your name out there and got a little bit of exposure, everybody comes running. That's normally how it is. It's normally just you have to take care of what you can. Yeah, take care of what you can. Work hard, and everything will come to you. You know what I mean? So after JC, what made you choose to go to Utah State? Like,
I kind of fell in love with the, being somewhere where I know that I'm gonna focus. You know what I mean? So, going to Utah State is just kind of, it's obviously a lot more to do, but it's still it's not like a it's not a party college. It's not nothing like that. It's you handle business, get your education, and try and get to the next level.
Yeah.
And I really like that. They're in the Mountain West. It's a very respected conference. Played against UNLV, San Diego State. I played against countless NBA people that are in the NBA right now. So just to like see the level where I needed to go was great seeing in the Mountain West.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Man, so What was the biggest change from JC to Division One?
I would say one, height.
Height is
That
definitely one.
yeah, that you can't teach height. And
Mm-hmm.
then I would say physicality.
Mm.
And then they look at it more as a business because you are responsible for your coach getting fired or not. So
Yeah.
he's not going to let you mess up.
Yeah.
So you're doing 6 a.m. weightliftings, you're doing practice at 12, then you got study hall after that,
Mm-hmm.
and then you got to get some shooting in throughout the out. So it's, yeah, it
Yeah.
was, college isn't a walk in the park.
Not at all. Not at all. You got them. You got 20-hour practice weeks. That's not including classes, weight room, travel, games. That's not including none of that. You can have a game on Saturday, and that counts as a travel day. And Sunday, you could be right back at practice. You know what
Yep.
I mean?
and class.
In class, like, man, college is different for sure. You definitely had some big games in college. I remember one game at Colorado State, you had like 35.
Yeah.
I know your senior year, you had as far as double digit games, you had 26 out of your 29 games were double digit games. You only didn't score double digits 3 times. That's huge. Yeah. And you shot over 45% from the three. Like, that's unheard of. That is unheard of in college basketball, man. That's unheard of. So, would you credit more of the training that you had already put in, or did your work ethic change when you got to Utah State, or how did that jump happen from junior to senior year?
Well, I came home and I gotta, give props to, my dad and my brothers. They normally, you come home and, you're just chilling. You're just like, man, college is crazy. But they pushed me like, yo, you want to be great. So we would go to the gym at 1 a.m. and then leave at 4. So, and we were doing that almost every night. So I think they really pushed me to really, it's a mental thing, as well as physical, that counts, but it's majority mental. And I feel like they pushed me to, get more and physical in the weight room, and then your touch with handles, shooting, and
Yeah, no, definitely. And that can account to your discipline too. You know what I mean? Like 1 a.m. is, for most college kids, they're out partying at that time. They want to be out having fun at that time. You know what I mean? But while they're doing that and other people are sleeping, you're working. You know what I mean? That's what separated you for sure. So moving on to overseas basketball. So you've been to a couple places. What places have you been again for overseas?
So I started off in Hungary, and then I moved over to France, and then I went to Belgium, and then I went back to my first team in Hungary, but they were playing FIBA Euro Cup, which it's hard to explain, but there's different levels. And when you're in an international playing team, you basically don't just play in your country. We would take flights to go to Portugal, to Netherlands, to France.
Y'all flying to different countries to play teams. That's crazy. That is crazy. Yeah. So how did you get those opportunities out there? Did they just stumble upon you? Like, how did it go?
Well, out there it's a whole nother grind. I mean, for all the young kids, you have to really, you have to love what you're doing, because you're, having to go over there into a country where no one speaks English. Yeah. That, you just have to really love it, because, it gets hard at times. Yeah. But you have to grind, man. You're your own business at that point. I mean, you have to market yourself. You have to, kill it on the court, kill it off the court, make sure you're staying out of trouble. And
So what would you say the most difficult thing was to adjust to when you went overseas?
I would say the just cultural things. When you go to different countries, every country has a different culture. Yeah. And so for me, when I went to Hungary, that was hard, because majority of the people in Hungary didn't speak English, especially the older generation. And so just going somewhere and trying to get food, and you can't say, hey, can I get that right there? You have to talk with your hands. But and also I would say the style of play. You know, in America, they say we're all very athletic here. They don't really do athleticism, you know, pride themselves on that. They do more of just skill and shooting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So they change the game up. They make it slower. They don't want,
Got you.
you know, we play up and down. They don't really want that over there, depending where you're at.
Yeah. So the first guest I had on the show was an old friend from SF State. He was the team manager at the time. He's now coaching in the Czech Republic. And I asked him what the biggest difference was, and he said it's more of like a system. Like they're running more systems out there, and rather than like creating their own shot. And that's where a lot of players out there get stuck because they like have to rely on a system for them to score. So you coming and being that American, I know is it the same as most other places? There's only 2 imports per team?
Well, like each country, it depends. But normally they do 2 Americans, and you gotta go out there. You have to be able to score in their system.
Yeah.
And I've been on places where, you know, if you're not scoring, all right, bye, see you, go home.
Yeah.
You're not performing, bye. Like, so you gotta be on it all the time.
Yeah. So that sounds like it brings a lot of pressure with it, especially being an American player, being considered the athlete, the one that's, you know, able to create their own shot. You have a lot of pressure on you game in and game out, it seems like.
Yeah.
So we started with the worst. So what was the best thing that you got to experience while going overseas?
I think, again, like the culture was kind of the hardest, but also seeing that the culture, being appreciative of, you know, where other people are from, and meeting other American players that, you know, you would see on like TV, like, oh, okay, you were playing for Florida. Oh, okay, yeah, like we played against each other, you know, and catching up like that, and you really bond, you know, with other Americans when you're over there. So it's cool to, you know, kind of re-link up and everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So through all of your travels, who was one person that was difficult for you to guard, and who's one person that you've seen that had all the exposure that you were like, I'm better than him when you played him?
Difficult to guard. Like, is this just
period? I don't care if I've heard of him or not. Most difficult player that you ever had to guard.
That's a tough one. I could say who was difficult who guarded me, I could say was Brandon Ingram. We played him
that tight.
We played him at Duke, and, you know, I'm 6'4", and, you know, when someone 6'9", 6'10" with a 7'3" wingspan is guarding you, it's really hard to get your shot. It's really hard to get your shot off.
Hey, but you still had 13 points that game. Like, let's just
they
didn't hold you to under double digits. But still, you got to really, you know. But I don't think, I mean, there's been people, I can't remember, I was like, you know, I know I'm better than them, but I would just, you know, let my game just like, I just want to kill this guy. You know, he's ranked higher than me, and I think coming from JUCO, you build that chip on your shoulder, like, oh, he's just a JUCO kid, you know. And I feel like that, you know, that gives you extra motivation each day. Like, oh, I got to prove to everybody, you know, I'm not just a JUCO kid and all this stuff. Absolutely. And a lot of people look down on JUCO as like, it's just the worst thing to do out of high school basketball. But this year we have our first JUCO player going directly into the draft, most likely going to get drafted. You know what I mean? So JUCO is definitely on the up and up, man. And it's a good path for a lot of people, and a lot of people don't understand that, and they look down upon it, and that ends up hurting them in the future.
Yep. It's a great experience.
As far as you, who would you say your best NBA comparison is?
NBA comparison.
I got a couple in mind right now.
Who do you think best?
You kind of remind me of a bigger Baron Davis.
Baron Davis.
Bigger Baron, because you got that big bodyguard type.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I've
Shoot that thing.
Yeah. I get how you say that. I've heard Donovan Mitchell a lot.
I could see that too.
People have said that, but more of a shooter.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much. I can't think. I get compared to a lot of people, but I think I pride myself on is not being just like I can shoot, and that's what I've always had. But I've always worked on every part of my game. So
absolutely,
I've developed posting up, mid-range handles. I don't know. It's always been hard to. I don't know who I compare. Yeah.
That's difficult because at the end of the day, you're your own player. You know what I mean? Everyone's their own player. No one's gonna play exactly like somebody else. But it's good to see, like you said, over time, like you kept adding little pieces to your game, and it just kept building up, and now you're this player that you're at right now that's still building up and still trying to get to where they want to be. So you're trying to get to the league. So
yeah.
What can teams expect out of Chris Smith?
Efficiency. Like you said, 26 out of my 29 games was double digits. I've always pretty much shot over, I think, 44% from three.
In high school.
And since high school, yeah. I think even since middle school. I don't even know if we have those records.
Hey.
But, yeah, just efficiency and a drive with a chip on my shoulder. And I've added, I've gotten better, I think, every year. I've never just stayed stagnant. So,
yeah. So what is something that you could tell to Sacramento Hoopers? It's not the same as when we were growing up and graduating. It's a lot more recruited now. It's a lot more exposure out here now. What's something you can say to those Sacramento Hoopers that are trying to get to that next level?
That you have to want it. I keep going back, but I went to a top 100 camp in JUCO, and it was with me and then some of the City College and San Francisco players, and like the coaches and the guy who put on the camp was just like, oh, it's crazy. We really don't invite, the California kids out here. They usually never pan out. And that really stuck to us. They're like, yeah, well, they're like, you guys are too emotional. You guys don't really want it.
We're too soft.
Yeah, they're like too soft. You guys can just go play tennis. They say we got options. Yeah. And we really took that to heart. We ended up winning it,
Absolutely.
to show them, like, yo, we're not.
It's not soft over
here. That's all. We want it, but just to have, the consistent, just I want it more than another person. That's it. And the fact that you guys have exposure now, that's really gonna help you be seen. Because at the end of the day, you can have all the skill, athleticism, but at the end of the day, if you don't want it and have that that dog in you, it's so
you gotta have that. Yes, that's all you need to say. You gotta have that drive. You gotta have that want to be great, that want to separate yourself. You know what I mean? As you heard Chris just say, 12 to 13 years old, he realized he wanted to make this a career. So understand how many other kids are out there like that. You know what I mean? Not a lot of people understand that.
Yeah.
So I got a couple more questions still. What is your most memorable game? I don't care what age. I don't care if it's AAU, rec league. I don't care. What's your most memorable game ever?
The one that sticks out to me the most is the first time I dunked in a game. I believe I was 14. It was at Harwood Palace.
Harwood.
You might have been on the team. I don't know.
I don't know if we were on. You were on E-Time at that time. We was always on different teams for some reason.
Always
going against each other.
I remember real quick, we played together just a couple of times. And you honestly motivated me. I was like, you know what? I need to become a 2-foot jumper. Like, I would just see you go up.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I was like, I would see you go up and dunk real easy. I'm like, how does he do that?
It's light, because I was light. That's why.
Yeah. But yeah, I would say that game, you know, just to be able to do that and then everyone go crazy, that was just
Yeah.
yeah.
that had to be it. I remember mine to this day too, man. It's that's a moment that no one can ever take away from you. That's gonna live with you forever.
Nope.
All right, next one. Most embarrassing basketball moment.
Most embarrassing. Oh, okay. I would say I think when I was a freshman going into my sophomore year, freshman summer, we played Sac High at the Sac State tournament.
This when Josiah was there.
And my dad is an assistant coach, and they're like, you got Josiah. And I was just like, oh my God. But I wasn't going to be like, you know, okay, he's too good, I'm not going to try. So, but, you know, of course, I'm trying my best moves, and I think I got like he got like 2 or 3 5-second calls on me where I just couldn't get around him. And that really ended up motivating me. Like, I need to improve myself. You know what I mean? This guy's at another level, and I need to get to this level. But I think he got like 2 or 3 like 5-second calls on me, stole the ball from me, blocked my shot, maybe crossed me. Yeah, so I got embarrassed. But yeah.
So next question. Other than you, who was the best player to come out of Center High School?
Other than me. Oh, man.
I know you're going to say you.
Oh, man. I mean, there's so many great, like.
There are, man.
During this time, I can't even tell you one because we had people didn't know where Center was, and we really, you know,
put them on the map.
During a certain, we had, I think, one of the best winning percentages in Sacramento during that time. Absolutely. For sure. And I can't even. I mean, there's the Haysberts. We got Elliott. We got
Elliott used to go crazy. Oh my God. Daniel used to go crazy. Your whole squad was stacked.
Daniel.
I used to hate
we had too many.
I used to hate playing against y'all.
Yeah, we had too many. I mean, athletes.
I mean, absolutely.
It was. And that's the thing. We all played AAU, and it was great chemistry, everything.
Absolutely, y'all play together year round. I used to always love that though. Like, I wish that my team was like that, but we were never like on the same skill level, all of us. So we couldn't just all be on the same team. Yeah, that definitely sets you guys apart. Playing for E-Time with Coach Ernest, playing every day. I remember because you guys had Keenan from Lincoln too.
Yeah.
I remember the double pump tournament. Yeah. You remember the double pump tournament in LA? They started John.
Yeah,
I remember that to this day.
Those are rivalries, man.
Everybody had those rivalries. But man, all right. So anybody you want to shout out? Any loved ones?
I mean, just, you know, obviously shout out all my, you know, Center, Yuba, Utah State. I would say, you know, obviously my family. Shout out Brian Langston with Dog Hours. I've been, you know, training with him lately. So he's.
Got you.
Yeah. So
I actually have one more question now. Tell me a little bit more about Coach Blank. I know a lot of players that like train with him that have high things to say about him. Tell me a little bit more about him.
I mean, he's a great trainer. He knows what he's talking about. You know, he played at Center. That's another great player.
Yeah.
He played at Center. He really, like, while you're working out, will tell you, like, hey, try and do this little differently. Like, he's the trainer. He actually pays attention to the little things. The details. And then he just doesn't do it to let you get through the drill and whatever. He really is trying to get you better while you're working out.
Got you. Sounds like a great
He'll even, and he gets out there and you know, if you want to play him one-on-one, he'll go out there.
Oh, yeah,
and,
he's
and
ready.
play.
Trainers are always ready.
Yeah, always.
Always ready, man. So, last question. What can we expect from Chris Smith looking forward?
Man, to always improve and always, you know, get to the highest level possible.
Gotcha. I like that. Real short, quick, to
Real
the point.
short, quick is just getting to the highest level possible and always improve. Never stay stagnant.
I like that. I like that a lot. Well, I appreciate you coming on the show, man. It's been
Thanks
a minute
for having me.
Caught up, man. It's good that we got to catch up. I hope your journey goes well. I know if you keep grinding, you're going to get to exactly where you want to be. I know there's people in your position that don't work as hard as you do, so you just stay doing what you're doing, and you're going to be solid, bro. You've always been solid. You've always been a hard worker. I don't got no doubts in you at all. Complete faith, always.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks so much for having me on your show, man. Much success to you, much blessings, and yeah, we got to link up soon.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. All right, bro.
All right.